What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into the dawn of DC with The Flash issue number 1. This will be Legacy issue 801, a brand new story arc starting over all the way back to our issue number 1 with Si Spurrier, a new creative team taking over, and I'm gonna be honest, right off the bat, I'm a little bit skeptical. After reading this comic, I'm not 100% sure that this is gonna be a title we continue to cover. I'm willing to give it the opportunity. You guys know how much I am a fan of The Flash. Whether it be Barry Allen, Wallace, Wally West, any of them. I love speedsters. And this does have some promising aspects. But Wally West gets wrung through the dirt so often. I am just sick and tired of it. And it seems like that's the direction that they're going with this. But like I said, I'm willing to give it the chance, I'm willing to give it the opportunity, and see where this story arc might go. But we're gonna get into this comic and we'll talk about why I have issue with this specific issue as we get to the end. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright guys, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with our boy Max Mercury. And Max Mercury, he's out here in the desert with Bart. He is training Bart on how to be the best speedster possible, on how to hone his powers and learn how to run at just the right speeds. He is telling him to remember and don't break the barrier. They are supposed to be embracing it. They breathe the lightning. But as they run into something. This is where we see a giant buffalo with red eyes. This sends them flying back. Both of them alive, a little bruised, a little bleeding, and a little beat up. Something obviously went wrong. It's almost as if they struck something or as if there was a flaw. That something is messed up with the Speed Force. But Bart didn't see what Max had seen. He didn't see the buffalo. And Mercury thinks that something is trying to communicate. Or maybe he stumbled through its thoughts. He perceived it in a form tailored to his experience, a buffalo at bay. He supposes the essence of it could be expressed as something like, "Help me, it hurts." This is what picks us up with our boy, Wally West. He is currently preoccupied with what we know as the Gorillas. The army of Grodd, if you will. And today, he finds it very odd that as he runs, it hurts. I mean, he is hitting the air fast enough to burn up your average extinction level asteroid on re-entry. But it doesn't change the fact that this is hurting him. That shouldn't matter, as he says that he is one with the Speed Force. If he's being honest with himself, he's never fully understood what the Speed Force is. Now, he knows the Speed Force is 100% real, actual science, though he doesn't fully comprehend how it operates. It is tempting to see it like a cosmic battery. With this battle fully underway, we see all the gorillas, they raise up their gauntlets and they discharge them. They deploy null spheres. And this is where we see a bunch of people trapped inside of bubbles. Something flickers on the edge of Wally's senses. Something to do with time and vibration. And before he can even try to do something, 30 cops and bystanders climb to the ionosphere as Wally tries to take on the gorillas. This is where something comes out of left field, what the gorillas refer to as the Indigo Streak. This appears to be a brand new speedster. The gorillas never encountered it, and so they say they need to record, that they demand data. Whatever it is clumsy as hell. With Wally West finding himself surrounded by gorillas, the Indigo Streak came and went as fast as a blink. And when Wally West turns around, this is where he sees Grodd. And all Grodd has to say is, "My condolences, Flash. I have heard the news. That breaking up is the purest pain of all." And Wally West has no idea what he is talking about. But with portals opening up, we see the gorillas and Grodd all take off. Just like that, they're gone. This is what takes us to the West household, with Linda trying to put the kids to bed, but they keep on running and running. Now, Irie, she's the one with the true speed here. Jai's powers, they're a little bit different. We have seen lately that he's connected to the Speed Force, but in such a very unique way. For example, as they run around the house, Jai is able to ride the speed vortex that is Irie's running, but he's not able to phase phase like she can. So when she phases through doorways, Jai runs right into the door. This is a speedster family, and every day is a little bit hectic. Melted toothbrushes from trying to brush too quickly, the whole 9 yards. And then we have Wade, the brand newest member to the family. And Linda is finding all of this a little overwhelming. For a while there, she had powers. She was a speedster. That was because of baby Wade inside of her stomach. While she carried the baby, she had powers. But now all of that is gone, and she's feeling it. I mean, while she was pregnant, she was able to write 5 books, that she saved the world. And now he's here, and it's just her sitting on the couch breastfeeding. Now, she doesn't want it to get misconstrued. She loves being a mother, but while she was pregnant, she felt like she had so much purpose, that she was greater than herself. And now that that's been ripped away from her more or less, she's starting to feel it. But Wally is a man that is always busy. While he tries to comfort his wife, he's gotta get off to work. He's gotta go meet up with Mr. Terrific. Now, Mr. Terrific, he is currently meeting up with somebody that he only referred to as Inspector. We don't get to see who they are, we only get a glimpse. An individual that is masked. But they are talking about the Speed Force. They have come to the conclusion on 3 things. The Speed Force is unbelievably weird. Reality as they know it is about to implode in a screaming temporal atrocity. And 3, they probably need to kill every speedster on Earth if there is any hope for survival, saying that the strange attractors exist outside of time and space, that it's a fixed point in a cosmic hurricane, something that you can't change. Of course, Mr. Terrific doesn't believe and can't. He even goes on to say that this guy's math is wrong, that it is off by 0.4. But he tells Mr. Terrific that he's afraid that's not the case, referring to PEMDAS, that his math is right, and this is going to happen. But with Wally making his arrival, he takes off, and Wally meets up with Mr. Terrific. They talk about what happened with the gorillas, and Wally says that he's trying to figure out what happened. He's trying to figure out how to solve this problem. He says that he feels like this has something to do with the Speed Force, because when those people were put into the bubbles, their atoms just stopped vibrating, as if time had turned solid. But wherever they have gone, he doesn't think that they can be hurt. And they know that Grodd does nothing without intent. He has hit 4 sites now, and now it's not just police that are getting caught up in this. This is where we see that Jay Garrick is fighting against the gorillas in an incursion that had happened yesterday. They tried to use those gauntlets on him. Luckily, Jesse was there to stop them, asking Wally if he has noticed any changes in the Speed Force, any fluctuations. In that very moment, he is almost taken out of reality, not sure where he is, but he sees something running around, something that is begging for help, something that is begging to be seen. And what they are saying is the uncoiled are coming. But Wally tells Mr. Terrific that there has been no fluctuations. He doesn't tell him about the pain, about the reality slips. He believes that maybe these are just hallucinations. If they're not, he should share these feelings with Mr. Terrific, but he doesn't. But whatever is going on, Wally says that the Speed Force chose him, that it's a force for good. They have to keep faith in this. And then they talk about this new individual, Indigo, the Indigo Streak. They don't really know what this is yet, but they're gonna keep investigating and looking into it. This is where we pick up with Irie. At school, she goes looking for her brother, because her brother has been acting very weird lately. She doesn't understand what's going on with him, she's just trying to be there for him. As she goes to the basement of the school, a locked up room, she can hear sobbing, and almost a whisper, repeating over and over, "I hate you." This is when she screams at her brother to come out and come out this instant, that he is showing signs of becoming a villain. We see him in there crouched down without a t-shirt on, and he is acting so very odd. When they leave the room, what we see is a small, tiny figure of an individual, a small silhouette of a person, but we have no idea who this person is. As we jump over to the gorillas, they are opening up portals and they are clearing out the streets. It doesn't take long for Wally to show up. As Wally begins to attack, he sees that Grodd has gotten fast. He has gotten so fast that Wally, he is missing his punches. Grodd is able to get a heavy blow on him, knocks him straight down to the ground, and this is when the Indigo Streak comes in. Coming in like a freaking wrecking ball. He goes to punch Grodd, and it does nothing, with Grodd picking him up, demanding to know who he is. The Indigo Streak says that his name is Chad, that he came just to help out, with Wally begging Grodd to stop, not to hurt him. Grodd puts him down and says, "As you wish." This is where we see that kid being put into a bubble. Now, he wasn't overselling earlier when he was talking to Mr. Terrific. Some quirk in his powers. A glitch or not, he can feel the speed force, like wind in his hair, shivering molecules groaning to halt, Tachyon screaming, the heat pours like blood, time crystallizing, the spheres start to rise, drawn to some ultra-massive gravity far beyond their world. And yet, something is wrong. As the gorillas get out of here as quickly as they can. Whatever is happening with a reaction. Something snaps, and we see Chad begin to become disformed. He starts to turn into a monster, and he can hear the voices from his hallucination. The uncoiled, they are coming. And this is when we see in front of him some kind of monstrous individual. Whatever Chad was, he is no longer. Chad has transformed into a monster, and he can hear now the echoing. The Speed Force is a force for good. But now Wally isn't 100% sure if he believes that. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad issue. Granted, it leaves us with way more questions than answers. My problem with this, I feel like they're about to take Wally West's powers away from him again. If that is the case, I will be dropping this comic, because it seems like that's the only thing these days they can do with speedsters. Now, the last couple of story arcs that we have gotten have been really good, but it seems like when a new writer comes on, they always just gravitate towards, let's take away the speedster's powers. Let's make them struggle and fight for it. Because the truth is, speedsters are some of the most powerful individuals to ever exist. Arguably, they are the most powerful. It depends on how you look at it. But saying that they need to kill every speedster on the planet, that seems like a very rash thing to say right off the bat. And then telling Mr. Terrific that he doesn't understand PEMDAS. I find that hugely insulting. I love Mr. Terrific. He is one of those individuals that is up there as the smartest man on the earth, if not the smartest man on the entire planet. And you're gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, you forgot PEMDAS. I don't buy it for a freaking second. It looks like they're trying to say that the force that is the Speed Force, they have always perceived it to be good, but now it is looking like it is being corrupted somehow. Whatever the uncoiled are, it looks like the Speed Force is being corrupted, and through this corruption, speedsters could lose their powers. Like Wally said, the Speed Force chose him, but if it becomes corrupted, it could choose somebody else. This is reaffirmed with Grodd. Grodd appears to know what's going on before even Wally West does, which doesn't make sense, but we'll go with it. He said that breaking up is always hard. We can assume that breaking up is the speedsters from the Speed Force. We don't know why, we don't know how. Obviously, it has something to do with this new creature that stands before us that we can assume is the Uncoiled. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue on this story if they take away Wally's powers. You know, there are so many good stories out there that don't require taking away a speedster's ability to make it good. I was so skeptical on Jeremy Adams taking over the Flash, but man, did he prove me wrong. Joshua Williamson before him had an amazing arc on the Flash. Of course, I didn't agree with every single thing that they did, but at the end of the day, they wrote some amazing stories that ended beautifully. That's why I'm giving Si the opportunity to really do something with this comic. And even if they take Wally's powers away, I might give it a couple issues to see how it goes. I really don't want to have to drop the Flash comics because, like I said, I love the Flash, I love all our speedsters, but I feel like the idea of taking away a speedster's powers is just so played out. It's such a generic way to go about writing a speedster story. But we're gonna see. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you want to get caught up on the previous story arcs of The Flash, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It will get you caught up on everything that happened with Joshua Williamson's and Jeremy Adams' The Flash runs. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50. From loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do any of that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.